Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back and we're playing
We're
some
playing?
Laugh You Lose. Yeah, well,
I mean,
technically, yeah, we're
technically, I
playing.
mean, we're no,
I
it's
mean,
not laugh you lose. It's
this one's not gonna be a laugh you
yeah.
lose. This is
We
more
are
of like just
reacting to
action.
Oh
Timothy
yeah, I
Dexter
guess.
on Sam
Yeah,
O'Neill. Neely?
I love it.
Yeah,
Nelle? Whatever.
Salmonella.
Nella.
So for those of you who do not know, I am a history guy,
Oh, oh,
aka
here it comes. Here it
me
comes.
with my Mr. History degree, right? And so for my normie friends who don't understand how this account called
You cutting out on the most important parts.
that's the point. I want to cut out the most important part.
I don't know
Okay,
why,
alright.
but he's cutting out so bad right
So much.
now. But anyways,
And then
this
it's
guy's
recording.
hilarious. He teaches you about history. Caleb here is a history major. Everybody blow him a kiss now. Look
He's
at
a
that
geek.
handsome devil right here.
history
And
graduate. Thank you.
yes, I'm sorry. He's got a history degree and whatnot. So all right, let's continue. I feel like this is really
Hey
loud.
kids, now we all know that fate is a
Hi.
fickle thing. Some of us may try to defy its will, but there's enough small businesses with Pizza Hut roofs out there to tell you that such a thing is ultimately futile. As for most of us, we tend to have our fair share
Oh,
of
there
good
he
and bad
is.
luck throughout our lives, but every now and
Pause
then,
it.
RNG's is small.
Why?
I'm here.
Oh, Timmy gone again. It's because it's the internet.
There he is.
No, it's that
This
thing
is
was just bugging out.
bullshit.
All right, he back. It's all right.
Smiles
Continue.
upon some drooling
I
little
don't
loaf
know.
child
Alright.
and says,
You, my son, you shall be the one with all the figgy pudding.
That child was Timothy Dexter. Dexter was born in Malden,
What a guy.
Massachusetts in 1747.
Timothy
He had a
Dexter.
humble upbringing, dropping out of school as an 8-year-old to work as a farmhand and a leather worker. But Dexter thought he deserved better, so when he grew up, he married one Elizabeth Frothingham, a rich widow in need of company.
Frothingham.
Gold digging achieved, he began his quest to become a true aristocrat. As his first step, he thinks, all the rich guys I know are in positions of power. I should run for office. Now, the town of Malden wasn't much keen on appointing a bumbling second-grade dropout, but after rejecting dozens of petitions sent in by Dexter, they eventually gave up and decided to just make some shit up, leading to Dexter becoming the official informer of deer, tasking him with keeping logs on the local deer population. And over statistics of does and bucks alike, Dexter ruled with an iron fist, triumphantly concluding what many had already known, that there weren't any deer in Malden, Massachusetts. Satisfied
He's ruling the force with an iron fist, watching for those deer.
I was waiting for the
Yeah.
This is great.
punchline, right?
This is absolutely great.
with his
That's
political career, Dexter then set his sights on greater financial ventures. So a little history, in
Dog.
1775, as part of our growing
best thing is he didn't
independence
get
from
paid for
Britain,
that
the
job.
Continental Congress
Yo,
decided
he
to establish
didn't.
their own currency,
No,
known as
pause
the
it.
Continental
He didn't get paid for his
No,
job.
for that, no. It was more like social status. So he just did it because he wanted the power. He wanted the status. Like he,
Oh my god.
like he didn't really need. Like he had the money.
Well, yeah, because he married a widow, right?
Yeah, he married that rich widow, Elizabeth Frothingham.
Damn.
So, but back then, yeah, it was pretty, at least for that. He didn't get paid for it.
Damn, that sucks.
That's
Anyways,
crazy.
dollar. Real creative there. Then the Revolutionary War started, and it dawned on people that these pieces of paper wouldn't be very useful in a giant pile of wet tea and smoldering patriots, causing their value to do one of those horny eagle death spirals. Then the Congress did, that
Horny
stupid
eagle
thing that
death
every high
spiral.
schooler learns is stupid, not invading Russia in winter, but the other one, practically making them worth less than their
my
weight in
God.
paper and ink. And wouldn't you know it, a good portion of the Continental Army was paid with these, so by the time the war ended, many veterans were left totally destitute. The aristocrats were like, well, these grass-eating Untermensches did kind of give us a country, so whatever, we'll throw them a few cents and take this trash off their hands. Dexter was
grass eating. Bro,
hmm
just the
Why is
wording
bro's
is
eyes
hilarious.
all the way the hell down there?
Don't worry about it.
What?
Don't worry about it.
like, ooh, I'm a wealthman. I'm gonna do that too.
I love
And
being
he
a
spent the
wealthman.
majority
Yes, a
of his
wealthman.
savings buying a boatload after boatload of the 1780s equivalent of Blockbuster gift cards. By all accounts, this should have been his
Blockbuster gift
ruin. But
cards.
by some stroke of luck, after the Constitution was ratified, the new government decided that they'd trade Continentals for treasury bonds worth 1% of their face value. Doesn't sound like much, but keep in mind, Dexter bought thousands of crates of bills for fractions of pennies apiece. So as buybacks began across the country, his stockpile appreciated massively in value, and this informer of deer realized that for the
This
first time there were
informer
a
of
lot of
deer.
bucks in Malden. But just because he was now a man of the upper crust doesn't mean he let it go to his head. Sure, he might
The
have
upper
purchased the most
crust.
luxurious chateau that money could buy through daily Playboy Mansion-style ragers and commissioned over 40 statues of America's greatest heroes, one of which was of himself,
Of
with
course.
a plaque calling him, quote, the greatest philosopher in the Western world.
The greatest philosopher in the Western world, huh? Caleb.
Yeah, someone who wasn't educated. Oh, I'm surprised he has
Despite his
philosophers.
incredibly tacky displays of wealth, his contemptuous contemporaries still saw him for the loud, illiterate rube he was. So they started giving him deliberately awful investment tips in order to get him to bankrupt himself.
I'm loving
One
the
such
face
piece
right
of
now
advice
with his
was that
mouth
he should
wide
ship
open.
warming pans to the Caribbean. For those of you
Why
born
is it
after
so low?
1850, a
It's
warming pan's
bothering
this
me.
dish on a long pole that you fill up with hot coals to warm up your bed. Not much use in a tropical paradise. But Dexter was undeterred by such frivolous things as logic. Went ahead and sent over 40,000 of them to the West Indies. When they arrived, the locals didn't really know what they were looking at and decided to use them as ladles for the sugar and molasses refineries. And by the end of it, Dexter
Dude, I just want you all to know that this Timothy Dexter is just the luckiest fucking man alive. All right.
sold
Yeah,
every single
I'll
one
watch
at a
it.
markup of nearly 80%. Frustrated that their plan backfired, the elites then told him to literally carry coal to Newcastle, which is an old idiom used to describe a pointless task based off the fact that Newcastle was one of the world's biggest producers of coal. The only idioms Dexter knew about all involved different animals shitting in the woods, so he took their word on good faith and went along with it. But by some divine providence, by the time the shipment arrived, the Newcastle coal miners had all gone on strike, and Dexter
Bro.
once again cleared the entire shipment with a hefty profit. He was like, man, I am so smart. By this point, he was pretty confident
Look at
in
him
his
sitting on a
speculation
mountain of
skills, so he started
gold.
making seemingly far-fetched ventures all by himself. One time he had a
Rich
bunch of stray
McDuck.
cats rounded
Oh my
up for
God.
basically free, which sounds like herding cats, but what do I know? And he sent them to the Caribbean, where they were gobbled up en masse. Not like eaten,
God.
but purchased to deal with all the rat infestations. In another instance, he
I
bought
also
up
just want to point out the fact of how he drew his fucking cats in this video. They look
yeah,
more they
like-
look more like rats.
I thought they were top tier, but
The cats
About
looked more like
every-
rats than the rats did.
Dexter considered himself extremely knowledgeable on just about every topic. Keywords considered himself. For example, he once stumbled upon a guy painting a sign to go along with the newly built statue of Jefferson. And when he saw that the sign called Jefferson, the writer of the Declaration of Independence, Dexter lost his frickin' mind and insisted that Jefferson did not pen the DOI, but rather the Constitution.
Jesus, dog,
Spoiler
you
alert,
scared the
not
shit out of
remotely
me.
true. He was in France at the time. An easy mistake to make today, sure. But this was only like 10 years after the fact. That's like someone today saying, Obama didn't kill bin Laden, dumbass. That was Bill Clinton. Anyway, when the painter refused to change the inscription, Dexter
Middle
started
finger.
shooting at him with a long rifle until he complied. Real genteel. Dexter made sure to surround himself with the requisite number of weirdos to maintain this level of delusion. One of which was Jonathan Plummer, a man whom Dexter paid to be his poet laureate, writing only the most laudatory odes in his honor. Mind you, this wasn't just your run-of-the-mill, wise-and-wizened wordsmith. Jonathan sold fish for a living and porn. You just
Yeah,
kinda
that's
went
right. Because this motherfucker right here look like Goku with that hairdo.
Besides his entourage, Dexter occasionally spent time with the total geeds known as his family. He had 2 children, whom the New England Historical Society describes as a half-mad drunk and a completely mad drunk, respectively. And he couldn't stand his wife on account of her perceived constant nagging, to the point where he would tell guests he was unmarried and that he just had a ghost in his house. Just like, oh yeah, that's a sea hag. You know, mansion built on some old Indian shipwreck or something. Timmy, please, I'm cold and my hands are rheumatic. Find it in your heart to light the fireplace for me. Yeah, plenty of that in hell, you banshee bitch. One day, in a massive stroke of ego, Dexter decided to fake his own death, complete with a lavish funeral service just to see who would show up. Lucky for him, about 3,000 people from all walks of life turned up. Though initially staying out of
Damn.
sight, he soon noticed that his wife
beats his
wasn't
wife.
crying. So in response, he jumped out and started hitting her upside the head with a cane in front of everybody.
Bro.
But as his true mortality grew closer, Dexter knew he needed a legacy and decided to pen his memoirs titled A Pickle for the Knowing Ones, which was basically just 20
Oh, man, what
pages
a
of
book.
unhinged ranting about politics, religion, his wife, and whatever else came to mind. No punctuation, random capitalization, the most amazing spelling I've ever seen. Here's some excerpts. George Washington,
Oh
attitude,
It's an
my
ebook.
philosopher, tobacco,
I have it as an ebook, it's
general,
pretty
and
good
this is
read.
all just from
General.
Let me.
that's some Jacob spelling, brother.
Oh my,
Oh
no,
my.
not that bad. Come on.
Joes.
Joes. Listen, there was
Joes.
one
Do we
time.
tell them the Joes?
It was one
story,
time.
bro?
It was one
Tell
time.
the people.
Where
Tell
is
the
it?
It was
people.
one time, basically, I saw a name for Jose, and for some reason, my brain decided to say Jose.
No, he said, who
And
the fuck is
yeah, I said, who the
Jones?
fuck is Jose when I saw the name, because that's what my brain read instead
Yeah,
of
your bread.
Jose, and they've been making fun of me ever since. Damn, it
Some
only
French
took you
fries.
long enough.
Did
I
you
got
make
some
fucking French fries?
I got fucking
Yeah,
Pringles.
French fries, Pringles, what the fuck?
I'm a fucking
I
Gatorade.
hope a lot of this stays in this video.
I
uh,
also got ketchup.
all right, ready?
Potato and not enough ass.
In the
Yeah.
first few lines, the entire book is written like this. And just like everything else the guy did, the thing sold like fucking hotcakes. Why does anybody even try? The best part is that when he got complaints about the total lack of grammatical anything, in the second edition of the book, he put an extra page at the end full of nothing but punctuation marks, with a
Oh
little
my
note
God.
saying that anyone who felt like whining could just stick them
Wait,
wherever
wait,
they
wait, wait.
wanted.
Mr. Printer, the complaint of my book, the first edition, had no stops. I put in enough here, and they
Dude.
may pepper and salt it as they
You're
please.
joking.
That's great.
Yeah, literally the first thing they say about this dude is that he's literate.
Yeah.
Dexter died in 1806, and by and large, he probably should have ended up in Davy Jones's locker. But given the circumstances, I imagine the big man upstairs dropped his big deck of mortal soul trading cards at just the right moment, letting him slip through the pearly gates undetected. And legend has it that to this day, if you pray to the name Timothy Dexter, he'll look upon you kindly and share his skills with you all.
I'm a
Well,
big fan of this guy. He has like 20 different videos on like different varying topics, so I'd give him a follow.
I give him a follow. But all right.
I learned so much.
Yep, we all learned so much more. I think that's gonna wrap it up for
Yeah.
this video. I think this was really fun. Let us know down in the comment section if you guys want more of this type of content. Also, don't forget that like
Or who
button
we
and
should do
subscribe button.
next. Tell us who we
Or-
should watch.
Yeah, tell us who else we should watch, and let us know down in the comments for the channel.
Let me know if you're also a fellow history.
Yes, also let Caleb know that you're a fellow history nerd, and we'll catch you guys in the
Mike can't
next
pick it up.
video.
Bye.